Hello, welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Skate and shit. This one being Aggressive Inline, a game that was released before Pro Skater 4 and did a whole lot of stuff before Pro Skater 4 did it. And honestly, I like this game and I like the stuff it brought to the table, but Pro Skater 4 polished it up a lot better. But it was the first to do this. This was the first game to pull off a lot of the new shit that Pro Skater 4 would pull off. And it also did a whole bunch of unique stuff as well, considering this is actually... I don't think it's the first one, but I do consider it the best roller skating game ever. Or inline game ever. We have a lot of characters. We have Jaren, we have Tag, we have Shane Yost, we have Frankie Morales, we have a creative character called Chrissy, Matt Lindenbruff, Sam Fogarty, another character called Jordan, Sven Bovgost, Matt Salvant, Ido, and Chris Edwards. I'm sorry I butchered a lot of those names, but the names don't really matter, but what does matter is that I'll be going through every character and showing off as much as I can of them, even though I'll soon find out that is completely pointless. But right now, let's just go ahead and put our name in for one of these characters. Let's go with the very first character, Jaren Grob. They always give you the actual first name. You just remove them, you put your own name on there. So, the levels we have right now, which we'll be doing currently, is tutorial, with a few other things, but we'll go ahead and look for them a bit later on, like Movie Lot, which is the first level of the entire game. Civic Center, which is locked. All these other levels are locked except Movie Lot and Tutorial. Industrial, as you can see. Got a nice little bit of a preview thing going on in the background. Boardwalk. They always have a power-up and a key that we have to grab as well as the completion number there. The cannery. And we also have, I believe, the airfield. There we go. And last one is the museum, I believe it was called. So let's go ahead and see that. There it is. Getting this game to run is a pain in the ass because this isn't actually in great condition. And, yeah, there'll be a lot of loading and issues. And sometimes some crashing, some soft locking. But hey, tutorial time. So, the tutorial. Basically, when I first went for the tutorial here, this is actually the second recording, it crashed the loading screen. Because if you see a little bit of a corruption going on the loading screen or whatever, that usually means that, unfortunately, it's not going to actually load. It will get far, and then it will stop, and then the game just soft locks. It just crashes, essentially. Anyway, it's just the basics. We already know how to do the basics, moving around, you know, all the jumping bullshit, all the grinds. Except things are done a bit differently, like how the fact we have to talk to people here. I mean, that is a new thing, considering Pro Skater 4 didn't come out until after this game, so that is a new thing. But yeah, it's just about moving around right now, the basic stuff, which we already know about. We already know how to move around and how to hold the X button to go faster and everything like that. Nothing too new, really. It's all the usual, you know, bullshit. There you go. What is new in this one, and unique to this one, are these sharp turns. I don't use them much. Hell, I barely use them anyway because I don't like using these, but sharp turns are useful for spinning around very quickly. They do have their use. You do turn very quickly, and it can be useful to make a sharp turn as fast as possible. Problem, though, is you don't get that much control out of it. It is pretty quick, and if you're not used to it, you'll usually get fucked over. Doesn't help that much, though, when you're doing this. This is basically the switch. And yeah, the switch actually means backwards, unlike, you know, before with the other shit. It's called a cess slide here, though. We'll be doing a few cess slides in this game, because it's our revert button. Now, time for the jumping. It's the X button. We all know how to jump in this fucking game. You know how to jump in any skating game. It's always the X button. If you play any fucking PlayStation game, the jump button is almost always the X button unless the game is really fucking dumb. And yeah, it's just, you know, telling you how you can get the maximum height if you hold the X button, all that bullshit. Next up is the manuals, which is interesting in this game. You don't manual of the up, well, actually you do. I was about to trick you, wasn't I? Where, you know, it's gonna be like a button thing or whatever. No, it's your average manual, up and down, how it should be. No dumb shit here. By the way, you see that bar on the top left? Yeah, I'll get to that soon. Right now is grinding, which it's alright. It's kind of broken, but it works fine. It honestly does work fine. I don't mind it much. It's the usual grind. However, there is a thing with it that I don't like much. In later games, you know, you tap the direction and all that bullshit and you spam the triangle button. You can switch your grinds, which you can do here, modifying grinds, which is what's next. It doesn't work well. Like, at all. It's really awkward compared to the Tony Hawk. It's like this weird delay thing going on, and the way it triggers is awkward, because you gotta have to hold the button down a bit and spam the triangle button to make it work correctly and all, and it's just... So what I like to do instead is jump quickly and then do the thing, which you're about to see me do. Because, yeah, it works like that as well. And honestly, you're better off doing that, because ollies do count as a combo thing, so you kind of gain a lot more out of that than you would otherwise. And also, your balancing's just gonna get fucked over anyway, regardless, I mean. Next up is the grabs. There are no flips unless you count front flips and back flips and such. It's all grabs. And I'm fine with that, because you can't flip trick a fucking foot, now can you? So we're doing a lot of grabbing in this game, and they are fairly forgiving, the grabs in this, so it won't be that bad, honestly. I don't mind it. Right, so now it's time for this, the Bailout. It's literally just the Bailout. You just hold up and you're out. There's no button to bail out, you just hold up and you're out. Simple as that. Okay, this one. This is a different kind of bailout. It's basically the emergency bailout. If you start jumping off a ramp and you're a bit too off like this, you can press the button to essentially bail out of a combo and get yourself back on your foot before you actually, bail. Right, this one. I'm not a fan of this one. It's a hand plant. It's the lip trick. Unless the game asks for it, I am never lip tricking. It's still kind of finicky. It's a bit more forgiving, though. I will say that much. But it's still, the finickiness for lip trick in these games. Right, vaulting. This is unique to this game. You can vault over ledges with the circle button. With the circle button. And yeah, it's very useful in a lot of ways. So we'll be using it quite a bit. Trust me, you're gonna want them. Right, next up, we have the vertical poles. Less useful. There's also horizontal poles. A bit more useful, but not by much. These poles are weird. The horizontal ones, they work about that much. They don't go all the way 360 and then backwards. They go a bit more off, but they work about as intended. Horizontal's weird, though. Sometimes you'll be able to trigger going up. Sometimes you'll trigger going forward. Sometimes you'll just fall right down. It's weird. The timing's weird. The way it works is weird. And you only get to hold the circle button for 3 spins. So, yeah, it's... I'm not a fan of the horizontal poles. They do get awkward. Right, sketching. We all know how to sketch. You hold the up button and you're sketching. It's simple. However, unlike Pro Skater 4 and such, where you do get a score for sketching, you get absolutely nothing for sketching. Hell, you never even have to sketch. The only time you ever sketch is for 1 goal, and that's it. It's utterly useless otherwise. Next up is wall riding, which does have its use, but wall riding in this is extremely fucked, because instead of just being 1 button, it's down and then X. You have to time it just right at the right angle, and it's really fucking awkward, and it doesn't work all the time, and it's just fucked. Wall riding's a lot more complicated in this fucking game than any other, as far as I know. So, it pisses me off a bit. I do get used to it, but I'm not a fan of it. I would rather prefer the R2 button or whatever for wall riding. It works a lot better for intended. And it's not unnecessarily complicated and dumb. Right, next up is score. It's just, get a combo of 10,000, that's it. Done. Getting score in this game is actually really fucking easy. Right, there are some bonus spots, except not really. There are no gaps in this, so this whole little bonus spot thing doesn't really count at all. You might notice something popping up in the bottom right, though. That's going to matter a lot more, but right now are the juice meter. The juice meter is both our special meter for special tricks and such, and making us go faster, and our health meter. Yes! This is another one of those fucking games where if you run out of health, you get a game over. Oh, I fucking hate these. Luckily, this game is more forgiving on the health bit than fucking the GBA underground game with its stupid, constantly going down health bullshit. This, at the very least, is a lot more forgiving on the health thing, and you won't really think of it much compared to the GBA fucking games, you know? The GBA underground game really pissed me off with the fucking life meter, and luckily in this one, it's got a use. It's not just health, and it's not that fucking mentally frustrating. Especially since there is going to be a lot of stuff we can pick up, which I'll show you soon. But right now, this is about stats. Where stats work is you do shit and you get experience. You get enough experience to get a stat point. It's unique in its own way, tedious as fuck in another way, but it works, and I'm fond of it. It's got a bit of an RPG element to it, honestly. This one is interesting. There's a bunch of items in this game. There are green fruit boxes, purple fruit boxes, orange fruit boxes to increase our health, and some other stuff like keys and shit. For 100%, we have to collect every pickup. They don't respawn. So, make sure you pick them up as long as you need them. Otherwise, just grab them. You know, if you've done everything, then just grab them. But yeah, for 100%, we'll need to collect every single one of these fruit boxes. Every single collectible will be grabbed for 100%. Right. So, what now? Well, there is one more thing we have to do, and that's graduation. All we have to do is get a 10,000 point combo, and that's it. I can literally choose anything I want in this small little park here, and that's it. That's graduation. And if I can not fuck up, like I did there, because manual and grab, it's a bit more difficult to pull off, unlike flipping manual, because you have less time, really, so you can only do, like, the very basic tricks in order to not bail with a manual jump, grab bullshit right back to manual. And sometimes the grab doesn't really work that well when you actually jump out, so but there you go. I mean, we also use the right stick to look around with our camera, so that's about it. So, that's the tutorial. We now know how to play the game. We now know all the bullshit we have to deal with. There is a bit more to this game, but otherwise, we are now ready to play Aggressive Inline. And I will be playing it next time, because next time, we're going to the movie lot. And there's a lot to this game that I can't 100% level on, but we'll be doing the movie lot next time. We'll try to complete it at the very least. So I'll be seeing you next time for the movie lot. Thanks for watching.